What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a random live stream. If you're in the Discord, you knew about an hour ago that I would be going live right now. And I made it perfect timing. I said I'd probably be going live around 9:30. It is 9:31. So worked out perfectly. Here I am. It's finally a actual UFC fight week. You know, this Saturday is Kelvin Gastelum versus Nassourdine Imavov. I just finished doing a prediction video for Umar Nurmagomedov versus Ronnie Barcelos. That'll be out tomorrow, as well as it should be my main event prediction. I might try to do it tonight after the stream, or probably do it tomorrow evening and then release it immediately as soon as I'm done. But I figured I'd jump on a stream. I haven't been live since, if I'm not mistaken, I think since Wednesday. I don't think I've been live since Wednesday, guys. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. But yeah, I've been pumping out videos for the most part. Yeah, I haven't been live since Wednesday for the live chat. I went live twice Wednesday, but still. But on the channel, reasons I love, top 3 reasons I love UFC 283, top 3 reasons I hate UFC 283, both out on the channel the last 48 hours. You guys need to go check those out after the stream if you haven't already. But thank you guys all for joining me for this random live stream. What's going on, Andy? What's going on, Fries? What's going on, Sammy? Jackson says, thoughts on JP joining PFL? I don't believe he will ever fight an MMA fight. And if he does, he will literally fight a garbage can of all garbage cans, and it'll probably be like another YouTuber, honestly. If he fights an MMA, it'll be another YouTuber. Rip Victoria Lee. That is super sad. That is super sad. Respect your room is cleaner than Guru's. Okay. Appreciate it. Joe been taking a well-deserved break, but hey, don't get too used to that, please. Yeah, I mean, it's not really even is it really a break, though? You know, I guess. So I didn't do nothing Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so I didn't do nothing on Thursday or Friday in terms of releasing videos, but I recorded a video Friday, released it Saturday, and then recorded 2 videos today. So a little bit of a break, but not much. Thoughts on JP versus Nate Diaz in MMA? Who wins the matchup? No desire to see it. Nate is washed at this point. It depends. If they were the exact same size, Nate Diaz wins all day. But because Nate is significantly smaller, probably loses because he probably just gets KO'd on the feet. Because if it was strictly boxing, I think Nate gets brutally KO'd. I mean, he looked terrible in his last fight. What's up, Alex? Alex is the one that originally requested, but there's been a couple people in the Discord been saying, "When are you going live? When are you going live?" It's great to have a community that's like, man, it's been 2 days since the last live stream. What the hell is going on? So here I am. Back yet again. Don't care. He will fight CM Punk. Wouldn't surprise me. They'll say he beat former UFC fighter CM Punk. That'll be the headliner. Yeah, I don't think he fights in MMA. I'm telling you right now, I don't think he even fights Nate in MMA. I'd be shocked. And we'll see what happens. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But I do not think he fights in MMA. And if he does, he's fighting someone who's not an MMA fighter. You notice he's not fighting in an actual division, right? Did you notice that? They didn't say a division. They said the super fight division. That's because they're going to bring over, it's the celebrity, PFL. People are applauding PFL for doing this. I think it delegitimizes their organization. I think it's an embarrassment. I think they're looking at short-term gain over long-term gain. And I think history will reflect, depending on what ends up happening, history will most likely reflect that this was a poor decision down the line. And the MMA media is going to just be deep-throating Jake. They're saying, oh, he's saying 50% of the revenue to the fighters and this and that and blah, blah, blah. How much? What revenue is PFL even making any revenue? Is PFL even profiting? So it's all well and done. Oh, we want 50% of the revenue going to the fighters, how much is PFL actually making? That's what I would like to know. So, yeah, that's all I can say. All it is, Dana White's not scared. All it is a publicity stunt, and I doubt that it will actually happen. Honestly, I still couldn't care less about JP until Dana signs him, which is never going to happen. Yeah, it's irrelevant. It's all it is it's a gimmick. It is a gimmick. It is a gimmick. It is a gimmick. Just ordered some Wingstop. You're an embarrassment, Billy. You're an embarrassment. Who is Leon going to fight? Is it going to be Usman? Yes, Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman will happen. Who's got better striking, Jan or Fiziev? Probably Fiziev. Fiziev one of the top strikers in the UFC. Ngannou versus Tyson Fury and Bare Knuckles would be an all-time great fight for legends. Stop it. Bearish market, think short term. Dude, PFL doesn't know how to run an organization anyway. They could put me in charge of PFL and I could do a better job of what PFL's doing. You're having an hour and a half long breaks in between fights and you expect to retain viewers? What a joke. What an absolute joke. I knew we'd have the same take on JP. Dude is so corny to me. It's all a gimmick. It's all a gimmick. It's literally just bullshit. It's a scam. It's a scam in my opinion. Thoughts on Tony Ferguson, Li Jingliang, or whatever it is. Embarrassing call out by Li Jingliang, but it's not actually Li Jingliang calling out Tony Ferguson. It's Ali Abdelaziz, who is a weirdo, who is a piece of shit, and calling out the dead body. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you guys need to go follow me on Twitter. I tweeted back to that response. Ali Abdelaziz tweeted from Li Jingliang's Twitter, then tweeted back to himself. I tweeted out to him. I said, you're an embarrassment of a man and the type of guy who makes me embarrassed for the MMA community. Tweeting from the Leech's account, calling out the dead body of Tony Ferguson, and then immediately responding to yourself. Yeah, Ali's an embarrassment. That sums up my thoughts right there. But if you guys don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, at MMA Joey C, go follow me. I would greatly appreciate it. I put a lot of early takes on there. So if you guys are ever interested, when there's a big news story, I haven't got a video out yet, I've probably tweeted a little bit about it. What's up, Mike? The PFL will making a lot more money with all Jake. We'll see. I doubt it. I don't think that JP is bringing in. People act like this man is a Conor McGregor. Casual fans are the ones that are generating the revenue for Jake Paul, and it's not a lot of them. It's not a lot of them. So many people want to see him fight MMA, but it's probably not going to happen. But the MMA media will swarm it like vultures, though. Maybe all the new audience, they will get more money to pay fighters. 50% probably going to be like, no, it's not. It's not $100K per fight. Dude, I can't even respond to that. That's the worst take I've ever heard. That's not going to happen. Ariel said this might make PFL number 2 like he's crazy. This is a joke. Ariel, listen, I have no evidence. Well, I do have, but it's all circumstantial evidence. I have no concrete evidence to support this theory. I 100% believe that JP is writing checks to Ariel Helwani. I've had that theory for probably a year now. I've told you guys multiple times on different streams. The dude is being paid to promote a YouTuber. Whether it's indirectly from Showtime, whether it's directly from JP, he is promoting him amongst the hardcore MMA community because he has that type of pull. It's an embarrassment. Moved PFL to number 2. PFL has been running their operation like garbage for the last year and a half. They need to put someone new in charge. And, everyone thinks that these organizations can compete with the UFC overnight. And the pressure to attempt to compete with the UFC overnight is what leads to these rash decisions, okay? It's something the UFC has not built. Something the UFC has built is not recreated in overnight. It's not recreated in a week. It's not recreated in 2 years. It takes a long time of, first off, developing talent. Second off, good promotion, okay? Just good promotion in general, making people aware of what's going on. And then also developing stars through promotion as well. So all 3 of those things. And it's not an overnight process. We're talking 5, 10 years at least to even become close. And you got to start picking up talent before the UFC picks it up. But, PFL and Bellator in particular, half the time it's impossible to figure out even when the fights come on. And how do you expect to be able to compete with an organization when we can't even figure out when your fights come on? Okay? I try to watch all the fights. I try to keep up with every organization. Half the time I'm asking you guys, somebody please tell me, when does this fight card start? Because I can't find the answer to it. If I can't find when your card starts, how am I going to watch? And if I can't find it, how is just a casual fan going to figure it out? Because I'm searching, I'm going to your website. You go to Bellator website half the time, they don't even have a time for the card. It's ridiculous. And then you have PFL half the time with horrible pacing. They have borderline lost me as a fan due to pacing. I was watching PFL. I was even streaming PFL fight cards. I've kind of all but stopped because I can't deal with a 4 or 5 hour pacing of a 3-fight or 4-fight card. It's egregious. It's disgusting. It's sport killing. So you're not developing talent. You're not acquiring young talent. You're not promoting your fights. Half the time we don't even know who these guys are, and half the time we don't even know when the fight card starts. That's a great... And then on top of that, they're purchasing views. They're buying views on YouTube, which we already discovered that for one, as well as Bellator, I believe. They're buying views on YouTube. The views to interaction ratio is way off. So I think Bellator and PFL are in far more dire business constraints than we know of. And I get it. They're backers, deep pockets, but the right people are not in charge. The right people are not in charge at all whatsoever. And it shows. I mean, it's clear. It's clear as day. Everyone in this chat who's a hardcore MMA fan, who tries to watch most MMA events, you know the struggle of trying to figure out when a Bellator or PFL card comes on. It's just not easy to find. And then even finding the card lineup half the time is annoying as well. So, yeah, it's not going to drive more eyeballs. It's not going to make PFL number 2 by any means. It wouldn't shock me if PFL's out of business in like 3 years because the investors are like, we're not getting a good enough return on investment. Because with any business, they want to see growth. They want to see growth year after year, you know? If I ran this YouTube channel for a year and I still have the same amount of subscribers, I'm still getting the same amount of views, there's no growth there, you know? And then you do it for 2 years and then you do it for 3 years, there's no growth there. You're probably going to give up. Now imagine you're dumping millions of dollars into it, okay? You're going to give up eventually, you know? So, yeah, PFL's not number 2. Ariel's getting his checks signed by JP and or Showtime, and he's an embarrassment, but he's done that before with the UFC. What do you think about Dana White slapping his wife? I have an entire dedicated video on it. I think that Dana White looks terrible in this. I think he shouldn't have done it. I think he's a piece of shit. I don't think it's the first time he's done it. But I do believe there is a double standard. I do believe there should be some punishment. I do believe there's not going to be any punishment. And I do believe there's people calling for excessive punishment. Let me put it that way. I'll sum it up that. But go check out the video and you'll hear my more in-depth thoughts on it. Patty Mills, thank you for the $10 super chat. Holla, holla, Joey. Keep up the good work. Happy New Year. Thank you, Patty Mills. I greatly appreciate your $10 super chat, a.k.a. the $10 holla. Thank you for your support, Patty. I greatly appreciate the donation, my friend. I really do. I really do. Thank you, Patty Mills. Shout out to Patty Mills. Appreciate you. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm glad you're still enjoying the channel, my friend. I am very glad you still enjoy the channel. And thank you for your support, Patty. I really do appreciate it. Okay. If Aljo beats Cejudo, maybe defends against Vera or O'Malley, then his resume with all those defenses is getting up there. I mean, sure. Yeah, if he beats Cejudo, people have to start giving him some more respect. I personally have to start giving him some more respect. If Aljo beats Cejudo, I think Aljo beats Vera and O'Malley. Aljo's very good. I just think Jan's better and Cejudo's better. Niles, what's going on? I hope you're having an awesome 2023. Why is all these fighters calling out Tony Ferguson? It's embarrassing. I said the same thing earlier on the stream. It's an embarrassment. You're calling out the dead corpse of Tony Ferguson. The dead corpse of Tony Ferguson. You were literally poking the dead corpse of Tony Ferguson with a stick. With a stick. Move. Do something. Do something. Just poking Tony Ferguson's dead body. calling him out. I mean, I want to enact a new rule. If you call out Tony Ferguson, you need to be cut from the organization because you're an embarrassment of a man. You're an embarrassment to this community. And, you know, gun to my head, you're calling out Tony Ferguson and you're calling him out for an easy win. I think that's the motive behind it. For no other reason, you don't think it's going to be a competitive fight. You think it's an easy win over a legend. I say yes, and I think I live. Okay, I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, but it's an embarrassment. These people are embarrassing. The UFC isn't innovative. PFL is. Disagree, but okay. Sucks one is bleeding money because they actually put out great fights. All of them are bleeding money. No, I don't think any of them are making a profit outside of the UFC. I don't think any of them are making a profit. But PFL is third best, maybe fourth behind UFC, Bellator, one in my opinion. Yeah, it's hard to gauge them. It depends what aspects you're looking at to gauge them. But I know exactly what you mean. What's going on with Habib is it's not going to corner Islam and is what happens to Eagle FC. I think he will. Who knows? I haven't seen 100% confirmation, but I have seen it repeated time and time again. But my guess is he just wants to kind of get out of the limelight a little bit. The media harasses Habib nonstop, and then Habib says stuff, and then I believe he's just answering honestly, but then a lot of people will give him shit for it. So he probably just wants out of the limelight. Probably wants to be ignored. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But we'll see. I think he will still be in the corner of Islam Makhachev. Don't worry about that. Bellator going to Showtime is by far the top 5 stupidest decisions ever done by Promotion. Absolutely a joke. I don't understand. I don't know about top 5, but why would you put your product that people won't watch for free behind a paywall? I don't understand it. Why are you putting a product that people will not watch for free behind a paywall? I do not understand it. The lack of promotion is what hurts these organizations the most. Agreed. What can one do to get more popular in your opinion? It's hard to say because my opinion is a North America-based opinion. But I just think better show times within the United States, within North America. Because right now it's hard to tune in. I know they signed the Amazon deal. And I think the Amazon deal does get them a lot of exposure. And I know that's still behind a paywall. But I feel like a lot more people have Amazon. I might be wrong on this. And this is something I'll Google after the stream or something. I feel like a lot more people have Amazon Prime than has anything else. But I think the biggest mistake these organizations are making, I think they need to get on free TV. I think they need to get on a big streaming app. ESPN Plus, I think, is one of those things. It's got ESPN, it's got Disney behind it. You need to be wildly available for people to start supporting you. Then, after a while of that, then you can transform to pay-per-view maybe. But I think they need to have better, what's the word I'm looking for? Better fight card start times in the North American market. They need a little bit better production quality. The lighting is always off. If you notice, the UFC lighting is perfect. One Championship, Bellator, PFL, all their lighting is usually off. It looks washed out, looks too white. So I don't know if they need to pay the UFC to ask them, like, how do we do our lighting like this? The lighting's always garbage, and they just need to up the production value. And I also, what I would do if I was running any of these organizations, I'd fire Scott Coker in a heartbeat. Scott Coker is a cancerous promoter. And I know people say, oh, he did good with Strikeforce. Nobody wants to hear Scott Coker talk at all. How can he be a promoter? You know what I mean? Nobody wants to. Scott Coker, I've never listened to a Scott Coker interview in my entire life because he is enough to put you to sleep. He's not interesting. He doesn't talk well. So get a decent promoter who can go out there and actually start getting people hyped for the cards. Start making people understand the gravity of the fights. No one understands the matchups you're making better than you do. And if you go out there and just discuss it and talk about it and go on different interviews and you're interesting and people want to hear you talk and you promote these fights, I think, but none of that matters if you don't do it consistently, year after year. And keep doing that. Keep putting on good fights. And then obviously the fights have to deliver. So that's what I think. You know, that's a long answer, but you get the point. Am I crazy to think Jamahal Hill will beat Glover? No, you're not. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I hope Power Slap fails as hard as F. I agree. Thank you again, Patty Mills, for your $10 super chat. When Patty, you answered my question, tried to delete the other comment. Okay. Aljo will beat Cejudo by Aljo will beat Cejudo by by DQ or something. Okay, that'd be crazy. Yeah, that would be an embarrassment. What's up, Roman? It's because Tony the gatekeeper. No, Tony's not the gatekeeper of the top 15. Tony's the dead body of the top 30. All empires end, so will the UFC. We'll see. We'll see. That eventually it will be. I don't know if it'll be 50 years, 100 years from now. It will eventually end. At some point, the UFC will be out of business. You know, people at one point thought Sears was going to last forever. Look at it now. You saw the Gaethje Fiziev news. I did not see it from any reliable sources. So then the answer is no, because I've not seen it. If you've seen it from a reliable source, let me know. I do believe that's the fight that will get made ultimately. So where there's smoke, there's fire. And maybe I missed it. Maybe there was some legit news reporting it, and then it was just the shitty Twitter, MMA Twitters and Instagram regurgitating it that I did not see. But I think that fight ultimately does happen regardless. What are your thoughts on the Habib retirement? We'll see what it actually means. We don't know the gravity of the situation. We don't know. Oh. Apparently there's some stuff going on in Brazil, and they're talking about, could UFC Brazil be affected? Oof, that would suck. Hopefully, I don't know I don't know. I don't know the gravity of the situation, so I can't say, but that would be crazy if that happened. Okay, now what was I answering? I can't wait till Fiziev beats the brakes off Gaethje because it's kind of embarrassing. He's ranked number 3. I think Fiziev will KO Gaethje. What do you think? Who's going to win between Makhachev? Oh, thoughts on Habib's retirement? I want to see the circumstances and actually the details of it. Does he actually disappear or no? Because I don't know what exactly. I think he'll just dial back. I think he'll just die. I think he'll dial back his presence in the MMA community. What do you think? What do you think? Who's going to win between Makhachev and Volk, and how? I think Makhachev wins either by decision or submission, most likely. If I had to guess, gun to my head right now, I'd probably go Islam late round sub, like 4th round sub. What's up, Joey? What's going on? Brendan, hope you're doing well. I swear, what they need to do is make it easier for people to find information about cards. There's so much work finding out what the card start times are. I know. I wish I could talk to somebody because seriously, it makes it so difficult to want to watch a card. You want to know at least a couple days ahead of time. You can't find the information. It's annoying as hell. What do you think about Gaethje versus Fiziev? I think Fiziev starches him, but I do believe that happens. I've not seen it be official yet. As soon as it's official, I will make a video on it. Because I don't make videos about like pure speculation 99% of the time. Because I want you guys to watch this channel and know when you see information coming from this channel, you know that it's reliable, and 99.9% of the time it's true. You know, I don't want to be one of those channels where you see it and you're not sure. Like, I want you to see my channel, see my video, whatever I say in my video title, breaking news, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev announced. And I want you to know that it's true. So I don't like to put out videos about things that I'm not sure of yet, if that makes sense. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But I don't want to be I don't want to end up being one of those channels that just make a video about every rumor. Okay? There's soap opera channels that do that. I will not be one of them. Ooh, how's it going, bud? It's going good. How is it going for you, Panthers? Hope you're doing good. Tom Brady said he's making his okay. Great to see making waves. He does so much for the fighters. Yeah, right. He's helping. How is he helping? That's yet to be proven. And I don't believe he ever fights in MMA. Guys, like the stream. Yeah, guys, if you have not liked the stream yet, I would greatly appreciate it. Scroll down, like the stream. There's 55 people in the stream right now. There's only 22 likes. So if you guys could do me a favor and like the stream. Also, if you're watching the channel right now and you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Go down below and subscribe to the channel. Things have been at a bit of a lull for the past month because there's been no fights. I've still been doing videos, but it's been a bit of a lull. So we're about to start getting back to fight cards, get back to the growth. So if you're watching for the first time or you've been watching for a while and you're not subscribed, go subscribe. We are creeping to 7,000, but I've been saying that for like a month and a half now because as soon as UFC 282 was over, stuff just went skirt. Okay, where are we at here? Habib won't disappear. He has to coach Islam or Islam will lose. We'll see. I think he'll always be in Islam's corner regardless. Maybe he just dials back coaching everyone. Oh, yeah, shit's going down in Brazil. Forgot the UFC's going there. What are the chances of that? What are the chances? I don't even know exactly what's going on. I'll have to check it out. I'll read an article or two soon. In Islam is the region UFC is not allowed. I hope Habib has not become more religious. Sport where you hit in the head is not allowed. That's what I'm worried about. I doubt it. I doubt it's that extreme. But maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe he's just tired of being in the spotlight all the time. Jake will be living rent-free. And I honestly don't even think Dana cares that much. You guys act like Dana cares so much about that. I don't even like Dana. I hope Jake pisses him off. But I don't think he really cares that much. I think he realizes that basically the YouTuber uses him as a way to get more attention. So I think he stopped acknowledging him. Uninformed feminine fellows stalk Jake in his circus events. Yeah, pretty much. I have a feeling Dana, Endeavor, and ESPN won't say anything about Dana's slap and business will go on as usual. Yep. That is what will happen. When did he promote the UFC? I'm missing the question here. Do fighters walk out, do anything to sway your picks as to who looks ready and to fight at the opening bell? Very rarely. It has happened before where I'm like, damn, this person looks nervous. But usually the thought ends up being worthless. I'm trying to think who I thought looked. Like, I remember, I think it was Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey. And believe it or not, I picked Holly Holm. I know that sounds crazy, and I've never even mentioned it on here because I didn't really believe it at the time. I was just kind of, I don't know. I just thought she had okay striking, but it was kind of like she was such a big underdog. I picked her, which is why I've never brought it up on the channel. But when she got out there, I was like, oh my God, she's about to get slaughtered. She looked nervous as hell in the corner. And she went out there and look what she did. Look what she did. Look what she did. When is the first fight of the year for the UFC? This Saturday. So exactly 6 days away. There you go. Is it allowed all? It is. I am Muslim. Anything with dangerous to health is not allowed. Okay. Well, that's an interesting take. I did not know that. Habib just wanted to be able to hang out with Kadyrov without it being a story all the time, probably. Does Hamza own at least one title by the end of 2023? Imagine if he has both, would be unreal. I think he does. I think he gets a title. I believe he gets a title in 2023. Will we see Danis versus Paul at a potential? No. Danis doesn't want to fight anyone. Danis is a bitch. So, Danis wouldn't fight me. So, yeah. No, he's never fighting. No one's ever even going to offer him a fight again. And the MMA media has created a monster. I mean, why are they promoting this clown? That's why I don't talk about these people. And I'm done talking about these people. I'm not talking about any YouTube clowns, okay? Danis is just like a YouTube Conor McGregor groupie clown. I'm not talking about him anymore. I'm not talking about the other YouTube fake fighters. So, yeah. There you go. So the people in Brazil did a January 6th and also went into their White House, Congress, and other buildings, but the UFC is going to a different part of the country after a quick Google. Thank you for the information. I'll have to check it out too. will you be at UFC 285? Probably not. Joey, hook us up with a UFC 283 parlay in the cord. I will hook you up with that later. If I don't do it, remind me in a couple days. Were reporters ever asked Dana about the slap incident? Yes, but they will tap dance around the issue. They will tap dance around the issue. They will not press any question. Dana's going to get angry the second they ask and brush them off. And then they'll be like, okay, Dana, thank you. Appreciate it. And then Dana might say, you want one next? And that's it. That's the end of it. So, not talking about that. Yeah, got my badge. Yeah, thank you for the 12 months of membership, constantly growing. Thank you for the 12 months of membership. I should be at 285. That's awesome. I think that's gonna be one of the biggest cards of the year. Late here, am I the only one that believes Habib thing is just really media for his prodigy? It could be. I was a little bit doubtful as well. So, bro, thank you for the 1 month of membership. I think you basically had, you were a new member and then you got 1 month, but I think you got both of them gifted. But thank you nonetheless. If Dana slaps his wife in public, what does he do behind closed doors? Good question. Have you ever been to a live UFC fight? Yes, I have. I went to UFC 172. I went to UFC 244, and I went to UFC Overeem versus Rosenstrike. So I've been to 3 events. I read that. Have you read that? Danny Gay will make his exit from the top 15 on Saturday and fade into obscurity. What a letdown. Poor man's Tyson Griffin. I don't know if he loses on Saturday. I think he probably wins, to be honest. Both gifted by Billy. There you go. JJ Smoke. Hunter is here. Have been here for 6 months. Thank you, JJ Smoke, for the 6 months of membership. I greatly appreciate your support. 6 months. It's crazy how long it's been. But yeah, thank you. Appreciate all you guys for the membership. 12 months of membership, 1 month of membership, 6 months of membership. Thank you, Brendan, for the 1 month of membership. I greatly appreciate you. I hope you all enjoy the Discord. You guys, if you're not a member, if you need to know the benefits, loyalty badge next to your name. You get access to the members only Discord for life. And I post a bunch in there. I give you guys a bunch of behind the scenes information. We're talking about all the latest MMA news all the time. I basically get all my MMA news from Discord now. And you also get custom emojis to use in the chat and comments. And you get some members only live streams as well that I stream and then I private for members only afterwards. So there's hours upon hours of content that's not on the channel, that's on the members tab. So if you guys want to become a member, the link is in the description. I have hiccups for a second. It's $3. It's $3. If you guys want to support the channel, it's not necessary, but you can. The link is in the description. Adam, thank you for the 5 months of membership. Gang. Appreciate you, Adam. Appreciate your support. It's crazy. I remember some of you guys just joining up. And then it's like crazy now. It's been 5 months since you became a member. So just wild to me. Absolutely wild to me. There's some people who have 12 months who I remember them becoming a member. It doesn't seem like that long ago. So appreciate you, Brendan. Appreciate you, JJ Smoke. Appreciate you, Adam. I really do appreciate the fact that you're willing to support the channel by becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. And on top of that, coming to most of the live streams, participating in most of the live streams, watching the videos, all that good stuff. Got a new badge. Shit looks raw. It does look good. The badges look good. I'm gonna have to make a 24-month badge soon. It's gonna have no number on it. I'm just gonna have to figure out what I want it to look like. So maybe it's just be a badge like it is now, but it'll look like Neil Magny's hairline. Sorry I'm late. No problem, Jungle Mania. Thank you for coming. What fighters do you enjoy watching at the moment? Khamzat Chimaev is one of my favorite to watch. I really enjoy watching Piotr Yan. I really enjoy watching Islam Makhachev, Yuri Prohaska, Francis Ngannou. John Jones, even though he hasn't fought recently at all, he hasn't fought for. I mean, he hasn't fought since I had the channel. So, but there's just some quick names. There is some quick names. I like how everyone just started sending their members super chats. You were at the BMF card. That's sweet. That was a banger of a card. Yes, it was a stacked card. I wasn't happy that the main event was a non-title fight. It was a garbage BMF belt, but the card was stacked, so I decided to go anyway. Raquel versus Ketlin will be a good time to step away for a dump. There you go. Happy New Year's, Joey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's crazy. We're 8 days into 2023. Hoping Allen wins. Who are we talking about there? Luckily, I wasn't in that tournament. Would have been too easy. What are we talking about there? I'm missing something there. Dana did nothing wrong. His wife slapped him first. Let's be real. That doesn't mean, regardless, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So, yeah, he still did something wrong. Again, if she's willing to, I said this in my video, if she's willing to forgive him, his family's willing to forgive him, I'm not going to sit here and clutch my pearls over it. But it still doesn't mean if it's wrong. They were cheating, Brendan. I got paranoid because the flight I took, the plane started shaking. That is crazy. If Volk wins, who would his first title fight be against? Probably be an immediate rematch for Islam, honestly. But if not, if it'll be Beneil. Weight class was supposed to be random, but somehow it landed on bantamweight every single time. Oh, I see. You guys are talking about the UFC tournament you guys did. I'm dumb. I am very dumb. So you guys are talking about the UFC. You got the people in the members of the Discord did a little UFC online gaming tournament today. I forgot about that until just now. I realize now. They were cheating. I'll become a member shortly. Didn't even know that was a thing. Appreciate you nonetheless. Was he supposed to just let her tee off on him? No, he wasn't, but he doesn't need to smack. Dude, I'm not even arguing with him. It is what it is. What's up, Keep Out? Why the hell is Umar still fighting guys outside the top 15? I have a video coming out tomorrow. I actually discussed that heavily in the prediction video. Who wins a Dariush versus Oliveira matchup? What round is it? And honestly, I take Dariush. 3rd round finish. Rafa Fiziev. How the hell do I gift a membership? What you do is... Did that message just disappear? Oh, what you do is you go to the money sign, right? You click on Super Chat, right? And then you turn it all the way up to 500 USD. Make sure you have your mother's credit card in there. And then you hit buy and send. And you type a message in there. And that buys memberships. You got to put 500. Otherwise, it won't work. John Jones hasn't fought in 3 years. That is true. How did Lee's sister die at the age of 18? We can only speculate, but it doesn't sound, it doesn't sound like it's particularly going to be good. What new contenders or prospect are you excited for this year? I'm excited for Umar Nurmagomedov. I am excited for Shavkat Rakhmonov. And there's plenty of others. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. I'm trying to think of some outside of the rankings. I wanted to see Guram Kutateladze. There you go. That's pretty much it. Off the top of my head. I'm actually excited for Andrade Murphy. Andrade is always fun in fights, and she would dismantle Lauren Murphy. You're probably right, but just seeing Lauren Murphy on the main card of a UFC pay-per-view just rubs me the wrong way. If a little kid smacks you, the same thing, you can't hit them back. Agreed. Need to get a Magny hairline emote. Were you guys really dying when you saw that in the video? I was dead serious, too. I wasn't kidding. I did not laugh one time. It really ruins my night, man. You're not fooling anyone. MMA Guru out back on that beanie. I'm not even sure what that means. What does that even mean? But all right. Will Magny show up and beat Burns or get beaten out the back of the rankings? Burns is going to beat Magny. I'm pretty confident in that one. Any news on James Krause? I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with that. I have not personally seen anything in terms of James Krause. The betting scandal. I've not seen anything. Can Derek Lewis make 185? No. Make sure you buy 500 a couple times in case he glitches. LOL. Lamau with the middle finger. I don't know how you do it, honestly. I've never done it before. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, you do click the money sign though. You can buy. Hold on. So you can click the money sign and buy a membership too. Now I don't think that was there before. So yeah, you can when you click you do click the money sign, and that's how you buy gift a membership or buy a membership. If anybody wants to buy a membership, not that you need to. Damn, what the mom do? Do you think Jack Della Maddalena can hang in the 3 to 5 with Usman Chimaev? Too early to say. Too early to say. He looks good, but I don't know. He hasn't fought that great of an opponent yet. I really hope we see Lauren Murphy get TKO via body strikes by Andrade. Yeah, similar to the Caitlin Chukagian finish. I could see that happening. Who wins Fiziev versus Hamzat? Hamzat would be too big without grappling. Will Shogun ride off into the sunset with a win? I'm praying. I live in Canada and can't bet anymore. I thought they reinstated that. But maybe only in one of them, because I know they banned it in 2 different places. So maybe only in one of them. If I'm going to be honest, you are the most non-biased MMA YouTuber. I always feel like you give an objective take on everything without an agenda or take look at how the fighter looked like. I mean, I try. Everyone has inherent biases, but I try to ignore them, and I do my best to just give you my honest opinion, you know? I don't care if I like a certain guy or dislike a certain guy. I just try to give you objective thoughts. And I'm going to say whatever I'm going to say, even if it's not popular. You know, and I think a lot of people online, they get scared of the mob, basically. You know, they're scared of what their audience may think of them. I will always tell you what I think, even if I think you'll hate my guts for it. I don't care. I'm just going to always just say, look, this is what I think. Regardless, I'm always going to make a prediction based off who I think's going to win, not who I like. But I'm glad you think that. I appreciate it, and that's my goal. Did you think Blachowicz was going to flatline Rockhold? No, I thought Rockhold was going to win. But I did question Rockhold's chin. So it's not like I thought, oh, I'm 100% sure Rockhold's going to win. I would say I was like 60-70% Rockhold, leaning Rockhold. If Magny beats Burns, will Hamzat win age badly? Then he will need another fight before the title? No. Nope. But that would be terrible. I imagine him beat up with a guy but that hairline. Oh my goodness. What if he goes on a 1-year break? And yes, he can then. Yes. How well does he do? It'd be hard to tell how he would look at 185. I see everyone complain about Andrade versus Murphy, but everyone should be complaining about Burns Magny. That shit probably won't even be competitive. I complained about it as well. I complained about both. I'll check right now. What are you checking? I don't remember what we were talking about. Even if Aljo can't take Henry down, don't you think he could use his awkward striking? Now, I think Henry would beat him up on the feet. Do you think Fiziev will be Islam's toughest opponent during his reign? I don't know. I think Beneil is the best chance at beating him, but Fiziev's going to be tough to beat, so I'll say yes. Yeah, it doesn't show gift membership for me, only sticker and super chat. Maybe it's like that for mobile. I was just looking at it on the desktop, so I could be wrong. It shows me it on the desktop. Right now I'm looking at it, but I don't know. You're going to have to just see if you can do the 500 thing and see if it works. Report back, all right? But make sure you got your mom's credit card in there. Same. Brad Tavares needs to go to BKFC if he loses his next fight. He's like the measuring stick of the division. What are your thoughts on Habib stepping away from coaching? Do you think it will negatively affect his Dagestan fighters, including Islam? I just wonder in what capacity is he actually going to step away? Is he going to have, a significant disappearance from the fight game? Or is this just a ploy to kind of get out of the limelight a little bit and he's still going to be coaching guys like Islam and just maybe not be like a head coach? Maybe just be like a guy who comes to the gym and trains and works with them. And only coach a few select fighters. Did you watch the Tank fight? Nope. Don't care. Never will care. Is the guy Moises is fighting any good? Who is he fighting? Did he get a replacement opponent? Let's take a look. Guys, keep putting questions in the chat. I'll get to them in a second. Who's he fighting now? I don't see him on the card. So fill me in. Fill me in. Fill me in. Who is he fighting? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong card. It's UFC 283. I'm dumb. I feel like I remember this guy. No, I never even. Yeah, I've never seen this guy fight. I've never seen this guy fight. He's 19-5. He's 26 years old. Has some okay wins. His record isn't padded with absolute bums, but Thiago Moises most likely wins. Will be my guess. That would be my guess. Constantly growing. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you, CG. Some love since I hit that 750 bet on FanDuel. Kick 2023 off the right way. I'll send 500 when I hit the 7,500 on FanDuel one day. I'm going to hold you to it, man. That'd be nuts. That would be nuts. I hope you hit it one day. Not for my own selfish reasons. I hope you hit it. That's awesome. You hit the 750 bet. And I appreciate the $10 donation, my friend. I really do. The fact that you guys are willing to donate your money to me means a lot. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the $10 holla. I appreciate you constantly growing. I'm hoping Burns fixes Magny's hairline with the right high kick. Dude, someone needs to tell Magny just to go bald. Okay? Do you see how thin Derek Lewis looks lately, looking like a light heavyweight? I've seen some pictures, but it's hard to tell. Have you ever seen the Gaethje physique rumor for 285 or 286? I would believe it would be 285. I did see something about it, but I couldn't find a legitimate source reporting it. Do you think Islam will retire and coach the Dagestan Bellator champ until he becomes the UFC champ? No, I think he's just going to hang around and maybe just reduce his presence a little bit. We all thought O'Malley versus Sean would be a beatdown, but Sean pieced him up. That's incorrect. Aljo's striking doesn't look pretty, but to be honest, he did school Munoz for 3 rounds. That is true. I'm hoping already read that. Yeah, I hope so too. Anything could fix that thing. I mean, if Gaethje fights Fiziev and Dariush fights Oliveira, who should Dustin Chandler fight? Dustin or Chandler should fight. No, Dustin should fight Sarukian. Or Chandler should fight Sarukian. Dustin can fight. I don't know. Let me take a look. Dustin could fight Charles versus Beneil, Gaethje versus Fiziev. You could do Dustin versus Sarukian or Chandler versus Sarukian. And then I guess do Chandler versus McGregor or Chandler versus Jalen Turner. So do Dustin versus Arman and do Chandler versus Jalen Turner. That's what I would like. Sign me up for that. Those would be fun fights. And they need to give these up-and-coming guys a chance. So I'm a huge Hamzat fan. It leaves 2 away from the gym in Sweden, but I don't think he can make 170. I think he will. But we'll see. We'll find out soon enough. I think he'll be able to make 170. Thoughts on the MMA guru criticizing other media on not giving Pereira enough credit, but does same when Islam beats Oliveira. I think everyone... I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen specifically what you're talking about, but I think everyone gave Pereira credit for the most part I've seen. So I don't know. Dustin versus Arman and Chandler versus Gamrot. Yes. But I want to see, well, it doesn't match up. For me, the fight to make right now, I want to see Gamrot versus Charles Oliveira. For me, that's the matchup I need to see now. Probably burned his money away with Eagle FC. I don't think he burned it away. Joe Martinez is underrated. I don't know. He says farting out of, Switzerland or something like that. Hey, Joe, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you, Sam? Thank you again, Constantly Growing, for the $10 super chat. Any chance revives his career or he's done for good? He's done for good. Dude's a Conor McGregor groupie. Unless he shoots a porno with Conor McGregor, he's not reviving his career. That's about it. I thought bro sent the 500. That would have been nuts. I'd have probably fainted then. I don't got it like that. Yeah, dude, I'm not expecting that. Anyway, I was just messing with you. Exactly, because you're constantly growing, man. You're constantly growing. Bro, as soon as I didn't hear Magny's hairline in your honorable mentions, I knew it would be a reason. No, you didn't. I don't believe anybody was watching that video and knew I was going to say Neil Magny's hairline was a reason I hated UFC 283. I don't believe that for 1 second, Derek. You did not see that coming. You did not see that coming. You'll never have me believe that. Could you even imagine Derek Lewis's power at light heavyweight? Who knows? Because the weight loss could affect his power. New viewer finally got into a live stream. Thank you, R Ball. I don't know. Thank you, R Ball. Appreciate you. I'm happy you found the channel. I'm happy you made it to a live stream. Appreciate you very much for joining us and sending a message. Who you got, Oliveira or Dariush? I'd probably take Dariush at this point. I'm very high on Dariush after that Mateusz Gamrot performance. What do you think about Dustin saying he wouldn't be interested in fight Dariush? I think he'd do it regardless if he got offered it. Gamrot versus Charles will be a banger. Agreed. Johnny Walker, Paul Craig, who you got? I'm leaning Johnny Walker, but Paul Craig is a sneaky son of a gun. He is a sneaky bastard, all right? He will find a way to pull guard and submit you, but I lean Johnny Walker. I got Charles second round sub. Fair enough. Can Teixeira submit Hill or will he be KO'd? One or the other. I think he can submit Hill, but I think Hill can KO him. Joey, what's the biggest donation you got? A $200 super chat. It's the biggest donation I've ever got. If anybody wants to top it, feel free. Did you see Thug Rose getting submitted? Yes, I did. Embarrassing. I never want to see her fight again, so I hope she never comes back to MMA. Oliveira versus Usman if they were the same weight class. They were the same weight class. I'd probably take Usman. I think you get him down and control him on the ground and avoid the submission. How would Jan versus TJ go? Now or when TJ was in his prime? Either way. Now Jan would probably stop him. Before, it would have been a competitive back and forth fight, and it would have been like a 46-45 win for Jan. What is Drew Dober's next fight? I'd love to see him versus any power hitter in the UFC strictly because, dude, you could do Drew Dober versus Michael Chandler, honestly. That hairline thing caught me off guard. I was like, damn, Joey bogus. What do you mean, man? I'm being honest here. It ruins the card for me. I don't want to look at it. It reminds me of the yellow canvas for UFC 200. I thought you enjoyed it. I thought you got a good laugh out of it. Do you feel like Oliveira's title run is done? Has he peaked the past couple of years, or can he recapture the title? I just think Islam's going to be a champ for a while, so I don't think. I think his title. I think he could make another run, but he's going to lose if he fights Islam again. I think I would pick Islam in the next fight. Do you think Guram is good enough to be competitive on the feet with Fiziev? Yes, but I think Fiziev would have a massive edge, but I think it would be competitive still. But Fiziev would be landing the bigger shots and busting up Guram. Imagine if Jamahal Hill subs Glover. That would be straight up insanity. Imagine like first round sub for Jamahal Hill. Imagine what that bet would look like. Nobody would be picking it that way. Nobody would be picking it that way. Nobody. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not yet liked the live stream, do me a favor and like the live stream. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to the channel right this very second. But yeah, if you guys like the live stream, then YouTube promotes it to more people. And more people can find the channel while I'm live streaming right now. So I would greatly appreciate the help. Piotr versus King of Cringe. I would take Piotr, but that'd be a very interesting matchup. That's the fight I want to see. I put that on my top 10 fights I want to see in 2023 list. Be very interesting because the grappling of Henry Cejudo versus Piotr Jan, who's very well-rounded himself, has good grappling himself. I would favor Piotr Jan in that fight, but yeah, there you go. Is there any chance Pereira doesn't fight Izzy next? I know the fight just happened, but usually they big rematches in that. No. Unless Izzy has some massive injury, they will fight next. In your professional opinion, who would you choose to win a matchup between Charles Oliveira and Fiziev? I think Fiziev would TKO Charles Oliveira. Unfortunately, Charles Oliveira is so hittable. He doesn't have the greatest offensive wrestling. And I think Fiziev would brutally TKO him in like a second round. Oliveira just had a bad night. He'll bounce back. I'm a big believer in Charles Oliveira. I've always been a big believer in Charles Oliveira. I just think there's certain matchups for Charles Oliveira that aren't going to, that don't favor him. You know, like Fiziev and like Islam. I'm a very big believer in Fiziev, and now after that performance over Oliveira, I'm a very big believer in Islam. What do you think fighters going to help other fighters prepare for major fights? Anthony Smith. I think it's cool. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say. Shit was hilarious, but bogus. What does ASL mean? What does ASL mean? You think John Jones needs steroids help him in fights too much, and you think his record looks the same if he never used? It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but there's definitely kind of an asterisk there. I wish Demir stuck around. I think he'd look good against anyone not named Arman or Islam. I mean, he would have been a top 15 guy in the top 15 for a while. It sucks. I hope that it's not official, but you never know. I'm kind of excited for Jamahal Hill versus Glover. I agree. I'm excited for it. It's a very interesting matchup. Very, very interesting matchup. Magny never doing an interview with you if he sees a clip. Oh, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to hold back my opinion because I'm worried about somebody else. He could beat everyone else at 55. Who? Who are we talking about? Oh, Charles. Yeah, I mean, I still think there's nobody, outside of Islam and Fiziev, there's nobody I think he can't beat, but I would favor both Fiziev and Islam in those fights. The only guy who can beat Islam is Dariush. I would agree, but I would still pick Islam. I've been a huge Piotr Yan fan for a while now because I still have no clue how to pronounce his first name. I hear it different all the time. I believe it's Piotr. Piotr. Like almost like Peoter is how you would kind of pronounce it. That's what I go with. Piotr Yan. I think Fiziev could beat Islam. Fair enough. Hey man, will you be my little bro? I guess so. I don't know. Izzy said he will fight Pereira next, even if it's not for a belt. You think he means it? Yes. That's all I got to say. Okay. Yeah. How would Blachowicz versus Pereira at 205 play out on the feet? Whew. That would be, that'd be tough. I'd probably go Pereira just because Jan's getting old and slowing down a bit. But they're both elite level strikers. Have they announced any new fights today? Not as far as I know. Who would you have picked, Volk versus Oliveira? I probably would pick Volk in that fight, honestly. But I don't know. I've been picking Oliveira for so long. I don't know if I would have went against it. It all depends. I mean, if he looked good against Islam, I would have picked him against Volk, probably. But knowing what I know now, I would probably pick Volk, if that makes sense. One of the weirder abbreviations? As hell. Okay, that's what I always took it as. But I never knew what it meant officially. Is the beat coming back? 50-50. Do you think Bryce Mitchell is actually retiring or is he fibbing? No, he's not retiring. He's not retiring at all. How well does he do against Volk? Who specifically? Oh, Zabit. He would do well in like the first and second round and then lose. Sorry, I used a lot of abbreviations. No big deal. I'm surprised there hasn't been a death in the UFC cage. It happened in smaller promotions. I think long-term CTE stuff will become a bigger deal over the next few years. Yeah, I agree. It's going to happen eventually. It's going to be a sad day for the sport for sure. And I hate to break it to you because a lot of people are going to be heartbroken. If something happens in the UFC, it will be a massive detriment to the sport. And let's say it happens on a big pay-per-view and it's like an early prelim. The card's done for. They're not going to continue on with the fights. So, but I don't know. Dana White might be the type of guy that would. Thoughts on Nate Diaz versus he who should not be named? Don't really care, and I don't think it happens, to be honest, Blaze. Thank you for joining us, Blaze. Appreciate you. Now, imagine Magny was champion. His hairline will be everywhere. Oh, my God. Don't even say that. Who do you think hit Dana White harder, Nate Diaz or his wife? I don't know. Who would you pick in Dariush over Sarukian? Yes, I would. Dariush looks so good in the Mateusz Gamrot fight. Just pick a pronunciation and run with it. Well, that's what Chael Sonnen does. Dustin Poirier would flatline Fiziev, but Dariush would be a good test. Now, I think I favor Fiziev over a lot of people. Just showed up. Not sure if there's the ask. Gaethje versus Fiziev in the works for spring. Who takes it and how? I feel like Justin's chin won't be able to take the shots anymore. I have not seen that from a legitimate source yet. But as far as who wins, and I do believe the fight happens, even though I haven't seen it from a legitimate source, I think Fiziev brutally TKOs Gaethje. But it'd be a fun fight while it lasts. Were you a Vitor fan? TRT Vitor was fun to watch, but we all knew he was cheating. So I wasn't really a fan, but I was a fan of watching it. Joe, do you think about Aldo in boxing? What do you think about Aldo? I'm happy he's making money. I'm never going to, even the shit I don't like in terms of like the YouTube boxing, and I'm never going to sit here and not be happy for someone collecting a paycheck, okay? I will never sit here and cry about someone making money, especially one of my favorite UFC fighters of all time, Jose Aldo. I'm happy he's making money. And he actually still has skills. I would even tune in for that. So, yeah, there you go. I would tune in for that. That should tell you all you need to know. That's how much I like Jose Aldo. I lost a little respect for Bryce after making excuses. Yeah, dude, all he's done is make excuses. I just watched a slap match. Dude got knocked out and they wasted him. They waited for him to wake up for round 2 just to get knocked out again. That can't be good for your health. That's terrible. That is terrible. If MMA starts paying their fighters like boxing, it will ruin the sport. Okay. Using your in-depth knowledge of the sport of MMA, do you think Ilia Topuria has a chance of receiving a title shot this coming calendar year? To put a percentage on it, I'd say it's less than 10% chance. I think Volk fights Islam, probably loses to Islam. Then fights Yair versus Emmett. You never know what's liable to happen there. And then maybe the end of the year, he could fight someone like Arnold Allen if Arnold Allen gets a win over someone. But let's say Arnold Allen and Topuria fight each other. I could see Topuria beating Arnold Allen and then fighting Volk at the end of the year. So it is possible. I'll say 15% chance Topuria gets a shot at the title. One of Fiziev's pecs is bigger than his own head. Dude is absolutely massive. Fair enough. I never noticed that. Fiziev will brutally KO Justin. I think Charles stole his chin. Yeah, I mean, dude, Justin's always taken a lot of damage. I saw a pic of Kamaru Usman in the hand cast. He always wears that. He was wearing that before he fought Jorge Masvidal the first time. I do not believe that he's hiding a significant hand injury. And even so, the fight's 3 months away. So, Chael went with Alex Peña for a while. Yeah, dude, Chael's a clown. Mr. Joey, are you going to miss Mr. Khabib? No. Slap fighting is more dangerous than MMA by far. They already said Usman isn't injured and the fight is on. Yeah, I've been saying that since the beginning. So, yeah, I mean, I know Ali's saying that, so who knows? I do think it's weird they haven't announced it yet. But maybe they're waiting for something. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting to reach an agreement. It could be contract negotiations right now. But yeah, I think it'll happen. I do believe it will happen. So there you go. Would Bryce versus Evloev have been more competitive than Ilia versus Bryce? No, I think Evloev would have probably out-wrestled Bryce. I think I would have picked Evloev over Bryce still. Bryce is just a one-trick pony. He's just a one-trick pony. Constant pressure and wrestling. And if he can't do that to you, he's screwed. Do you think Habib stepping away means he will not be... No, he'll corner Islam. I think he's just maybe taking a little bit of a regressed role. Would Bryce... Okay, I already read that. Islam versus Usman if they were on the same weight, both prime. I'd probably take Islam. I think he has the better striking. Does Volk have a chance against Islam? I want Alex to win, but I'm less confident now that the fight's closer. Yes, he does. I would say less than a 25% chance, though. If Mighty Mouse was the size of light heavyweight, could he beat Prime John Bones Jones? No. Jones is just too good. Do you think Dariush would beat Charles standing or with control time on the ground? I think he could do both. Dariush is underrated striking. But I think that's a close fight. And I think Charles would be... I think Charles' jiu-jitsu would be enough where Dariush should be worried about it. McGregor versus Manny Pack right now in boxing, no. I always like to make my pronunciations right because Jan threatened me to break Schmo's arm because he called him Peter. Yeah, I'll try to make mine correct too. Slap League reminds me of a sport that be in the movie Idiocracy. Okay. Yeah, Slap League's embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. Song Yadong underrated AF. He's only 22 and Sandhagen on his toes. He's a black horse, future contender. Yes. Dude, Song Yadong is very good, and he's still very young. Henry said they were targeting him for March. That gives me, yeah, I think UFC 285 is going to be Henry Cejudo, Aljamain Sterling. Hopefully, Francis Ngannou versus John Jones is the main event. Henry said they're okay, read that. Good thing Habib is leaving. MF don't spend his time with his family. Everything flying around somewhere. Yeah, dude, Eagle FC looks like it's going out of business, in my opinion. So, yeah, so he said he retired. Yeah, I'm seeing more of these Fiziev, Gaethje rumors, but I haven't seen them from any reliable source. Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, I'm just seeing from these weird, like Instagrams. That's it. Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing nothing. I don't know. I don't see nothing. So there you go. I'm not seeing any legitimate sources. Someone can send me one. I'd be more than happy to look at it. Could you see Merab fighting next? He's hella dumb for saying he never fight the current champ. Probably Merab Piotr Jan is looking like what's going to be made. Would be my guess. Just because you look at the rankings right now. I would love to see the UFC just give Jan a title shot right now. But that's not going to happen. Jan could arguably be pound for pound number one right now, and he's not even on the pound for pound list. I mean, dude's career has just been destroyed by that DQ. What an unfortunate version of events. What an unfortunate version of events. Jeez Louise. All because he threw that illegal knee. Gave Aljamain Sterling the title. Then lost to him in a very close fight. Oh my goodness. What an embarrassment. That sucks. And now he's going to have to fight Merab, who's a tough opponent too. How many men would Manny or McGregor? I have no idea. My thoughts on Volk Islam is that they are both the toughest challenges for each other, for sure. Agreed. Do you think Robbie Lawler will retire this year? I hope so. Who's the worst media member, Brendan Schaub or Chael? They're both bad. I'd say Brendan Schaub. What music do you listen to? I really listen to anything. I'm not a big music person. Can you briefly explain why Ben Askren wasn't signed with UFC until after his prime? Basically, Ben Askren was beating up okay opponents, but they were super boring fights. He was talking shit to Dana, and Dana just made it a point to not sign him. And then he eventually was with one for a while, and then one trading him, and got Ben Askren. I don't understand why they did it. I think they did it, and Dana White was going to like prove a point and have him destroyed, and that's why Robbie Lawler was like the worst possible matchup for his debut, and Robbie Lawler should have won but didn't. But yeah, Ben Askren was garbage. Even in his prime, all he was doing was taking guys down and holding them down. He was the definition of what people complain about, like Islam and Habib doing. Piotr is top 5 best well-rounded fighters in wrestling, is improving tons, and his sub-defense is amazing. He's going to beat Merab without a doubt. Yeah, unless Merab just holds him against the cage somehow. But yeah, I mean, Jan has amazing. He out-grappled Aljamain Sterling in the 4th and 5th round, if memory serves correct. He out-grappled Aljamain Sterling a lot in the first fight. So it's just he got caught in really bad positions in that 2nd and 3rd round, and it cost him the fight. Yadong is 25 and was able to hang with Corey. Yeah. Yeah, he's super young. Why do people talk like Sean completely smashed Jan? Yeah. Dude, Jan won the fight. 30-27 in my opinion. I just got Fight Pass. Do you have any classic fights I should watch? Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold, Francisco Rivera versus John Lineker. I don't know. There's probably others, but that's John Jones, Gustafson 1. What's another good one? Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit, Robbie Lawler, Roy McDonald 2, I think it is. Conor McGregor, Chad Mendez was a lot of fun. There's a lot of good ones. Who has a better record, John Jones or GSP? John Jones for sure. For sure. But GSP doesn't have the GSP doesn't have the asterisk next to his name. Who's a harder matchup for Islam at 170, Colby or Usman? Usman for sure. Colby, man, no, I don't think Colby's striking isn't good. Usman's just big and powerful, so he has a threat. Chuck versus Vanderlei, yes, that's a good one. How do you think Jan won 30-27 versus Sugar? The first round was close. First round was not close. Second round was not close. And third round was not close. Piotr Jan did more damage in the third round. And it's unequivocal. The first round was closer than the third, in my opinion. The third round, Jan clearly won. Sean O'Malley literally landed one knee, and one knee does not win you a fight. The stats are not accurate as well. So don't believe those stats. They're bullshit. Chad Mendes was highly underrated. He always put on fun fights. That he did. If you had to, would you bet Khamzat become a champion at either welterweight or middleweight or no? I'd say welterweight. Did you see Tracy Cortez change her IG name back to Tracy Cortez instead of Tracy Ortega? That means her and Brian are having problems? Maybe. Joey, the first wasn't close. No, it was not. It was a clear Jan first round. It was competitive. It wasn't close. It was a clear round for Jan. I just can't believe people see it any other way. And they didn't think that when they watched it live. They did not think that when they watched it live. Only once the decision was read, they started going back and thinking that. And revisionist history. So, do you think Piotr fully understood Mark Smith when he said he's down because Jan speak English at the time, or am I tripping? I don't fully blame him. Well, I don't know why. See, I don't know why Mark Smith is talking anyway, unless there's something important. The thing is that there's no reason. There's Mark Smith be talking way too much. Mark Smith needs to shut his mouth. Okay, but it's not the ref's job to tell you whether the opponent's down or not. So I don't know why Mark Smith is even talking, and so it doesn't matter if Jan understood him or didn't understand him. So it's not the ref's job to tell him that. It's solely on Jan throwing an illegal name. Both first and third were close. No, they weren't. The refs do it. Yeah, I'm not saying the refs don't do it, but it's not their job to tell you whether or not the opponent is up or down. Do you think Jan Sugar was a worse decision or Patty Jarrett? Patty Jarrett was worse. Yeah, Patty Jarrett was far worse, but Jan Sugar was right behind it. Do Habib actually have a decent chance against Izzy? No. Mr. Joey, what's harder, wrestling or striking? I don't know. Why is Michael Chiesa still ranked? He hasn't fought in forever, and he's more of a commentator than a fighter. When is the last time Michael Chiesa even fought? That is a good one. That is a good Sean Brady, right? When was that? He hasn't fought in over a year. He's probably going to retire or some shit. Dude's going to fall out of the rankings soon if he doesn't fight, though. To be quite honest. That is weird. I've seen Jason Herzog literally say up. Yes, he has. But it's not their job to. It's not the rules. Down, up, down when a guy puts his knee on the ground. Yeah, it's a stupid rule anyway. It's a stupid rule anyway. I think it is. Who's the GOAT MMA ref? Herb Dean fell off years ago. Herb Dean is an absolute garbage can referee nowadays. I'd say Jason Herzog's probably the best ref. Judging fights off stats is so BS. If you look back at the stats for Green Fazeev and didn't actually watch the fight, you think Green was good. And the stats are never even accurate. The stats are never accurate. People posting stats. I wish they didn't even take stats because they're never accurate. Why do people call Izzy and Pereira a rivalry when DC lost to Jones twice? DC says it really a rivalry because I lost both fights. Izzy lost to Pereira 3 times, 2 by knockout Lamau. Izzy only lost to Pereira 1 time in MMA, and that's why it's a rivalry. And also because the fights were very competitive. So, I mean, it all depends, how you want to look at it. Regardless, if you're competing against each other on multiple occasions, then it's a rivalry in a way, and they're competitive. That's my thoughts on it. Him and Jones wasn't really a rivalry. They used that word for bad blood, when really, I don't even think that's the word rivalry doesn't. It just means competing in the same thing multiple times, I believe. When Mark Smith was telling the doctor, I said he was down, he threw the knee, it's going to be intentional. I don't agree. Well, he said that in front of Aljo. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes, he's saying he knew he was down, and that's why he DQ'd him. That is a good take. That is a good take. Yeah, that is horseshit. It didn't matter. He made a mistake. Should he DQ him? I don't know. I think it should have been a no contest. I don't think he blatantly threw it was illegal. Aljamain Sterling was kind of playing. I mean, it was blatant, but I don't think he realized he was down at the time because Sterling was doing that thing where he was like in on takedowns. He was on the tip of his toes, but he was hunched over. But he still shouldn't have thrown it. But to DQ him on the basis that I told him he was down, but also Mark Smith said it right in front of Aljamain Sterling. How do you feel about refs breaking up fighters on the ground when they aren't committing damage? Do you think that should be allowed? They're not breaking any rules. Now, I think it should be allowed, but I think sometimes refs wait too long. Sometimes they're too quick. With Volk's short size, great striking, and defense, dense body from his rugby days, do you think him and Islam will go to decision? Right now, gun to my head, maybe. I'm either Islam late round sub or Islam via decision, so probably decision. Izzy versus Pereira won in glory was a robbery if you actually watched the fight. Agreed. I watched it too. Chiesa is a solid guy. I met him at UFC meet and greet, but he's never going to be a champion, in my opinion. One trick pony. That he is. Who do you think would win, Islam or Colby? Probably Islam, just because I think he has better striking. Whose leg break in the UFC fight was worse to watch? Lots of options to choose from. Anderson Silva for sure. Is the self-proclaimed high road Hawani gone? He seems to be going for people's throats in 2023. While I do appreciate that, it's not high road Hawani. That's not what it is. He wasn't taking the high road. It was paycheck Hawani. He was getting paychecks cut by these entities, so therefore he was towing the line. That's what he was doing. So I do like Ariel the way he's been going after people lately. I think it's interesting, and I think he should defend himself. But it was never high road Hawani. It was I'm getting a paycheck Hawani from an organization that would be pissed if I end up talking shit to these people back. No matter how many people Sterling beats, he will never have my respect as a champion. Your bitch ass can't even win a belt off a TQ in a fight you were losing and call yourself champion. Yeah, dude went out partying with his belt too. Dude went out partying with his belt. It was a bad look. No kneeing to the ground opponent is a dumbass rule. Especially the way Aljo was exploiting it in that fight was an embarrassment too. Dude was just laying on his knees, waiting to get illegally kneed. Like he was goading it in almost. Who should Jorge fight now that midterms are over? I don't know, dude. He's probably gearing up for the next election, actually, at this point. It's irritating how Awani's still on about this Dana stuff he has no right to be talking about. He does have a right to talk about it, but, I mean, I don't know how much he's been dedicating it to it, so I can't really say. The lack of dominating offense wrestlers at 45 makes it hard to know how well Volk will do. Mendez is the only elite wrestler he faced. Yeah, and Mendez was kind of, I don't want to say on the way out at that time, but not in his peak. Will Islam surpass Habib? Yes. People forget Ariel literally sucked Dana's before he got pissed off at him. That he did because he was collecting a paycheck from the UFC, and that's why I don't like Ariel. Because he pretends like he's Mr. Independent when for years he was getting a paycheck cut and he was pushing whatever the UFC wanted. I actually like Ariel turning heel and standing up for himself more. I do too. I like Ariel much more this year. Why does he have no right? Yeah, I do think he has a right. Andy, thank you for becoming a member, my friend. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm assuming you're going to join the Discord. Right now on my channel, I don't necessarily have a link up because somebody became a member and then was just sharing the Discord link, so I had to take it down. So what I'm going to do right now, so you have it, I'm going to post it in the members only community tab for you. I'm posting the link right now. If you go to my channel, go to the community tab, the members only. I just posted a Discord invite link for you. Thank you, Andy, for becoming a member. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. If you want to join the Discord, I posted the link for you. Where are we at? Do you think the UFC should implement a 50K finish bonus? It would make the fights more entertaining with the UFC continually raising the price. They surely can afford it. Probably. I think it would help incentivize more finishes for sure. I like Aljo after the TJ fight, but now I'm back to not liking him because he wants to take a 6-month break. He's going to fight in March. I think he's going to fight in March. I think the reason it hasn't been announced yet, though, I think he's trying to negotiate a better contract. That's my take. Pavlovich versus Ngannou has to be a KO guarantee. Agreed, 100%. KO guarantee. Only reason Jorge ever got into fighting was to fund his election campaign. Dude's so annoying. Dude thinks he's a politician. Infuriating. Very, very, very annoying. So, there you go. I see Andy, you got the link. I just welcomed you to the Discord. I hope you enjoy it. We got a bunch of tabs in there, as you can see. And I post a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, my friend. So I hope you enjoy it. You'll have to let me know what you think. But thank you for your membership. I greatly appreciate your support. If anybody else wants to become a member, the link is in the description. I think if Aljo wasn't fatigued, like he got kneed in the first round, I think he could have been able to. Now, I think he was faking. He heard the ref say it was going to be a DQ, and he decided to take it. Ariel acts like a female, quickly exposing text messages. Yeah, well, in some cases, he deserves to do that. So I'm gonna back him up on that one. Who would you pick in Leon's versus Burns? I'd probably pick Leon. I think he'd outstrike him. Leon's just super safe, has good grappling, has good striking, and he's a good grappler against non-elite of the elite wrestlers. Yeah, good. Ariel, stop being everyone's bitch. Yep. Thoughts on Habib retiring from the sport? We'll see what actually happens. But I think it's interesting for sure, and I'm curious where he goes from here. And if Umar was matched against Aljo right now, who would win? That'd be an interesting fight. I'd probably pick Umar, but I just don't have enough information to pick him yet. He hasn't fought elite competition yet. So I probably have to pick Aljo. Crazy I went from liking Patty in the beginning of the year to now hating him in the end. There you go. There you go. I mean, dude's lost a lot of fans recently. Jorge's not even top 5 boxer in the UFC anymore. Gets outstriked by a lot of grapplers. Yeah, he's worried about the takedown. Colby Covington, beat him up on the feet a lot. A lot of people were saying, oh, all he did was sniff my crotch and stuff like that. And, dude, Colby beat him up on the feet as well because of the threat of the takedown. Because of the threat of the takedown. How do you think RDA's legacy will be remembered? If you look at his fight record, he fought nothing but studs. He will be remembered as a guy that just fought out anyone and everyone and always put on good performances. I talk about his resume every time I do a prediction for his fight. He fought Habib at one point. Yeah, I know what you mean. He has a deeper resume, but a lot of those there's a good bit of losses, but was always taking the toughest challenges for sure. He'll be remembered as a legend of the sport, to be honest, and he's a former champion. Hold on, let me adjust here. When he fought Anthony Pettis, a lot of people thought Anthony Pettis was going to beat him easily. I was one of the very few that picked Rafael dos Anjos. What would be the result of Bo Nickel versus Chimaev at middleweight? Chimaev would probably flatline him on the feet. Do you think fighters should have to weigh in the day of fights? Bryce Mitchell suggested it. No. Nope. I think it would be a detriment to the sport. Who are your favorite Chinese fighters? I like Weili Zhang. That's pretty much it. There, off the top of my head. I did like Li Jingliang, but he's calling out Tony Ferguson. Your bet is always safe with the person whose last name is Nurmagomedov. Most of the time. RDA should have a BMF belt. Agreed. Where does Lesnar rank on your all-time heavyweight list? Where does Lesnar rank? I don't know, man. Not very high. I mean, he was at an era where the heavyweight division was just terrible. How would Dustin versus Prime RDA go? Probably Prime RDA wins that one. But that would be a fun fight. I wish we could have that, even though it couldn't exist because RDA is not Prime anymore. I wish more fighters would do what Muay Thai started doing. No one remembers you when you're just a cookie cutter guy. You have to stand out and be a character. Fair enough. I don't want people to act like people they're not. And I don't really care too much about the character thing. For me, I just want high-level fights. Did you watch the MMA Guru Jesse on Fire collab? No, I did not. Do you think the crowd situation is going to affect Moreno in the 4th fight, seeing as it's a huge fight? It could very well. To have to change gyms last second, a couple weeks out from your fight, it's not particularly helpful for sure. And to have that massive change right before one of the biggest fights of your career, it's tough for sure. Mr. Joey, is it true Earth is flat like Bryce Mitchell said? Everything Bryce Mitchell says is 100% correct, so take his word for it. Li Jingliang, yes, he would kill Tony. Were you impressed with Saad Yukab even though he lost to Saeed? Yes, and I actually mentioned that in a video I recorded right before this stream. My Umar Nurmagomedov prediction. You'll understand if you watch it. But yes, I was very impressed with him. What was your personal most anticipated pay-per-view in UFC history? UFC 148, Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen Till. How would Frank Mir have been if he never got into his accident? It's hard to say. I wasn't really a big MMA fan then. I didn't really watch the sport when he got into his accident. Is McGregor fighting Chandler at 170? That would be a fun one to watch. Probably if it happens, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. What's your daily schedule look like? Do you set a couple hours to watch fights, or how do you prep for the channel? I have trouble sleeping, so most of the time I'm up late. And I would say usually on average from like 7 or 8 p.m. to like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., I'm working on stuff for the channel. It takes a lot more time than you would think, though. Like, physically recording the video is one thing, but getting everything in order, getting all the side-by-sides and images you need and, stuff like that, it's time-consuming. But whenever I have free time, I'm just working on the channel. Basically. That's basically it. So whenever I have free time, I'm working on the channel. I consider this almost like a business, and I enjoy doing it. And I just constantly want to grow it. I constantly want to grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it and put out good content. And honestly, I already have a lot of these ideas in my head anyway. So why not share them with you guys if you guys enjoy listening to them anyway? So the DC crying, DC is a classic meme now. Yes, he is. The MMA on crack guy you sent in the link in the Discord is really funny. Yes. Hilarious. When will you do a collab with MMA Guru? He has like 50K subscribers. He's not. That's not going to happen. If Usman loses again, does he retire? Maybe. I'm going to say no, though. I kind of like the idea of Neil Shavkat on 285 now. 285 is going to be a massive, massive pay-per-view. Moreno and Figgy keep fighting each other. Maybe I'm alone, but I hope this coming fight is the last time between these two forever. Can't fight 5-6 times. No, they will not keep fighting each other. I think this will be the last one, but I could watch them fight 10 times. They're so much fun to watch fight. I hope Brunson beats Duplessis. I think he probably will. Not sure if you're a boxing guy. I am not. How does Tank? I have no idea. I don't watch boxing at all. I cannot answer that question. I'm sorry, my friend. Would Habib have struggled more than Islam would at 170, considering Islam is a better striker? I don't think so, because Habib has crazy pressure that kind of makes up for his lack of striking ability. Mr. Joey Bryce also said the booster is going to kill everyone. Is that true? Whatever Bryce says is 100% true. Bryce is smarter than I could ever imagine to be. I got Conor McGregor KOing Michael Chandler in the round 1. That's probably my prediction as well. I told myself no pay-per-views this year. Going to go watch the fight live this year. New Year's resolution. That'll be awesome. That would be awesome. Can we get a day in the life video of MMA Joey? Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll put it as a members video. I'll put it as a members video. I'll just record on my phone what I do for that day, and I'll put it as a members video. Favorite beer? I do not drink. Who would you pick in Gane versus Aspinall? I would take Gane at this point in time. But I was very high on Aspinall, but now he's been injured, and we don't know. And Gane is ever improving. I would love to see that matchup one day, though. Excuses: when Volk smashes Islam, they will say Habib didn't corner him. Habib will be there. Watch the 4th fight be a draw. Oh my God, I'd be pissed. Who would you want to see JP fight for his first MMA fight? Paulo Costa. Montino versus Cody Garbrandt. Who would win? Cody. If Usman loses, could you ever see a scenario where he moves up to middleweight if Izzy loses to Alex P? If Usman loses, could you see a scenario where he moves up to middleweight if Izzy loses? Yes. I could see that scenario, but doubtful. Does Chandler shoot in for a fast takedown against Conor? Probably not. He's going to look for a KO shot early. He might land it. Conor's a sniper, and Chandler's chin is suspicious. I've got Conor by KO for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not for sure because I don't know what Conor's going to look like, but the fact that he's on PEDs all juiced up, Chandler's been taking damage and fighting. Meanwhile, Conor's fought like twice in the last 10 years. That's an exaggeration. I'm kidding, but you get the point. I'd probably take Conor. Who's one fighter you used to be a massive fan of that you're no longer interested in? Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal used to be one of my probably like top 15 favorite fighters. Dude's just become so annoying since that brutal KO of Ben Askren. Now that JP is signed into an MMA promotion, you're legally obligated to talk about him. Do you think legally obligated? Do you think he should? He's not going to fight an MMA fight. I don't believe he's going to fight an MMA fight, and if he does, it's going to be like another YouTuber. So you will not convince me he's going to fight an actual MMA fighter. I think Blades versus Gane needs to happen. I want to see Gane versus Pavlovich. To think Herzog is the reason the fourth fight is even happening because he took a point away from the first fight from Figgy. That is true. You into cars at all, Joey? I mean, a little bit, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I'm not like obsessed with cars at all or anything like that, but I mean, a little bit. Did you ever hear the James Krause story when Bryce Mitchell stayed at his house? I do vaguely remember that, and that was disturbing, yes. How much longer is Tommy Aspinall out for? I'd love to see him either versus Gane or the Russian dude at heavyweight. I don't know. He recently said something. Like he probably won't be back for March. So my guess is probably late spring or early summer he would probably return. But I'd love to see him in either one of those matchups. But I almost kind of want him to have, I don't want to say a tune-up fight, but I want him to like let him come back against like a Derek Lewis or a Sergey Spivak, whatever you pronounce his name. Hamzat versus Whitaker. Sign me up, but it's not going to happen. I don't think the UFC is going to make that. Chandler looked good against Dustin. He just got excited in the third round, made a mistake. Chandler's gas tank is always questionable because he's always trying to be so explosive. Pavlovich champ in 2024. I'll say yes. Pavlovich is the dark horse of heavyweight division. He's a real problem. What he did to Tuivasa and Cyril got dropped by Tuivasa. Maybe Pavlovich KO's gone. We'll see. Dude, I need to see Pavlovich versus Gane in 2023. I put that on my list. So, hopefully, by some chance, it happens in 2023. That's a fight I'm absolutely dying to see. I am absolutely dying to see. So, hopefully it happens. The two Sergey needs to fight each other. There can only be one Sergey. Dude, Pavlovich, I think Pavlovich would beat Spivak badly. Do you think Conor was on his way to being finished against Dustin if the leg didn't break? Yes. 100% he was going to finish him regardless, would be my guess in the second round. I think Lewis would spark Aspinall at this point. Dude, Lewis looks washed up himself. But it's hard to say because Aspinall's coming off an injury. Andy with the sleepy Conor McGregor emoji. One of my personal favorites. Pavlovich may have the most power in the UFC. I think Ngannou probably does, but Pavlovich is right up there with him. I mean, the heavyweights just have nasty power regardless. Chandler was committing foul after foul in the Dustin fight, lost a fan to me after seeing the fish hook. Yeah, I made a video about that. I didn't see a lot of people making videos about that, like purposely criticizing that because it was egregious. Who's the best heavyweight John Jones can beat? Francis Ngannou. Looking at pictures of McGregor now, it's crazy he used to fight at featherweight. He's on PEDs. He's getting jacked up on steroids. Pound for pound, funniest fighter in MMA. Who's the pound for pound? Gegard Mousasi is hilarious. So I'll say Gegard Mousasi. Patty overrated a bit or not? I mean, I don't think anyone really thinks Paddy Pimblett's that good. So I'll say he's not overrated. He's definitely overhyped by the UFC, though. Maybe Aspinall versus Biggie Boy. Biggie Boy has a fight coming up, I believe. But maybe if he wins that one or loses that one even. Would Tai Tuivasa versus Volkov be a good matchup in your opinion? Yes, I think that kind of makes sense right now. Do you think, or they could even give him, I don't know. No, he already fought him. Never mind that. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you still think Dustin would beat Dariush? I'm 50-50 on that fight. Um, yeah, I'm 50-50 on that one. What happened with James Krause, Bryce Mitchell that was disturbing? Yeah. Who you got? Fiziev or Gaethje? Fiziev all day. All day. Fiziev all day. People forget too, Connor looked like ass before he broke his leg. Dude went for a gilly against a southpaw striker. Yeah, and dude was getting mopped up at that point in time. Pavlovich runs through heavyweight without much competition. In my opinion, though, I haven't seen him against a wrestler. Yeah, and he throws no kicks, so that leaves him kind of super one-dimensional. Good call. I don't even know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what this is talking about, so I'm not even gonna discuss it. YouTube autoplayed this, so hello. What is up, Tony? If you enjoy MMA content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this stream right now and you enjoy a couple streams per week regarding everything going on in the MMA world, if you enjoyed constant MMA content and videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Also, guys, do me a favor. If you have not already, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Go like the stream. Do you think no? Do you think John Jones' long stretches of inactivity can negatively affect light heavyweight division over the course of his career? Yes. Yes, I do. Inactivity is never going to be good. No, I mean, what happened with James Krause and Bryce Mitchell? I didn't see anything about it. Where can I see it? I don't know. I'll see if I can find it and I'll comment it to you in one of the comments that you've commented on. Gamrot's defensive grappling would be so interesting to see against Islam. It's sad his striking is so behind. Yeah, his striking just isn't good. I think Islam would outstrike him anyway. Do you use StreamYard? I'm using OBS. I've used StreamYard here and there when I have guests. But no, I'm using OBS right now to answer your question. So here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Is Colby versus Poirier an option? No. No. The fight's not competitive. Who wants to see that? Do you think Cheeto could become UFC champion? I love Cheeto. He's one of my favorite fighters. I'll never say never, but he has a grappling defense issue. Henry Cejudo, Aljamain Sterling, Piotr Jan, Merab would all out-grapple him, in my opinion, even if he can win on the feet. What do you think about the 50-50 split? I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be any good money in it anyway, so they're not going to make any money. Can't wait for Shavkat versus Neal. Shavkat versus Neal, I am super interested in that. I would have liked to see Shavkat fight this Saturday, but unfortunately it's not happening. But March, UFC 285 is going to be a massive card. Do you think Sean Brady can overcome his last loss and become a true contender again? I was shocked when he got dropped. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very, very tough. The division is just so stacked. So I'm going to say he'll be in the top 15 for a while, but I don't think he's ever going to become a true contender. Who wins in a slap fight, Dana White or Will Smith? I'll say Dana White. After Chris Curtis, who do you think you'll interview in 2023? I don't know. I have no idea. Who would O'Malley have a better chance against, Sandhagen or Cheeto in a rematch? Better chance against Cheeto. I think Sandhagen's going to be tough. How many times do you think Colby fights this year? I'll say once. But honestly, I have a hard time believing he's ever leaving witness protection. I have a hard time believing he's ever leaving witness protection. So it's gonna be tough. Have I ever played? No, I have not played that. That you're spamming it over and over again. But no, I have never ever played that. Never even heard of it, to be honest. But yeah, so there you go. You got your question answered. Hold on one second, guys. Jeez Louise. All right, let me close out some of these tabs. Guys, keep throwing questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and delete this off my community post because I don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Let me refresh that. Okay. Where are we at? Who do I think I'll interview? I'm not sure. Have you played Settlers of? No, I have not. Bilal Pillowface. Bilal Pillowface didn't drop Brady one time. He didn't? I thought he did. I thought he did. Maybe I didn't. How did it fit? I don't remember. I had to go back and rewatch it. I've been having so much fun watching your videos, Joey. Good work. Thank you, Razor. I appreciate you. I'm glad you've been enjoying the videos. Did you watch the video I dropped today? Mr. Joey, why Dana slap his wife? Because he's an idiot. You should try to get an interview with Strickland. Everyone loves listening to you talk. Oh, I'm on it. The Nelk Boys ruined Colby. His Twitter and IG used to be fun. Now he's hiding, trying to get a payday from Masvidal. There you go. The legend Joey, good morning. Appreciate you. What's up, Thomas? Good morning to you. Who wins, Chimaev or Prime Weidman? I'll say Chimaev wins on the feet. But Weidman was such a massive middleweight. Who wins in power slap, MMA Joey or Joey Diaz? I'm not playing the game. So someone slaps me like I'm punching them in the teeth. Arnold Allen versus Ilia Topuria, who you got? I'm going Ilia Topuria. I'm a big believer in Ilia. What's next for Shabazi? And people spelled his name wrong. Probably spelled his name wrong. I don't know. Probably someone hanging out in that top 15 to 20 range. Something along those lines. Do you think Bilal has any realistic shot at beating Khamzat, maybe out-cardioing him? Yes, it would be out-cardioing him. I think he does have a legitimate shot at beating Khamzat, but I would favor Khamzat. I would say Bilal has like a 30% chance, so not slim, maybe even a 40% chance, because Bilal is just super well-rounded, but I think Khamzat could out-grapple him and out-strike him. It would all be about the cardio, because I think Bilal has a massive cardio advantage. Brady got rocked and standing TKO'd. Okay, I remember him getting just brutalized by Bilal, but I couldn't remember exactly. Thoughts on Yadong versus Simon? Is that official yet? Is that official? When did that get announced? Is the real question. Did I miss that? Did I miss that? Is that just recently announced? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I recognized it and then I forgot. Okay. But yeah, don't spam in the chat or you're gonna get timed out. But the thoughts on that fight, Song Yadong versus Simon, I like that matchup. I think Yadong wins it. Yadong looked very good against Corey Sandhagen, even in a loss. And I think he probably beats up Ricky Simone on the feet. What's the deal with Jake Collier? He loses to Andre, then Barnett, almost like he's losing to look like a hero. That's Haramio. I don't know. Are you planning on streaming any pay-per-views coming up? I'll probably stream UFC 283. Since we had a massive break, I'm probably just going to stream UFC 283. Not 100% on that, but I probably will. Who do you got, Rockhold or Khamzat? Khamzat. That'd be interesting, though, too, because Rockhold's a big middleweight. Who's the best fighter at middleweight Wonderboy could beat? Let me pull up the rankings real quick. Who's the best middleweight that Wonderboy could beat? He could beat Darren Till. He already did beat Darren Till and got robbed. That's probably it. He's probably either getting out grappled or out struck by everyone else, you know. Even Chris Curtis, who I think Wonderboy would have the striking advantage, I think Curtis could out grapple him. Kelvin Gastelum would out grapple him. Nassourdine would out grapple him. Muniz would out grapple him. Dreykus would out grapple him. Maybe he can avoid Jack Hermansson's takedowns, but I doubt it. He could maybe beat Sean Strickland because Sean Strickland wouldn't try to grapple him. That's my thoughts. So there you go. No, it's not announced, but I think it's a good fight. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I like that matchup. I like that matchmaking. How does Tapology get the info that fights are announced? I don't know. I guess the same way me or you, but they make sure it's from confirmed sources and add it to the website. Do you expect the Brazilian fans will be crazy as usual at the next pay-per-view? Yes. Arnold versus Max Holloway. I would probably pick Max in that fight, but I'd love to see it. Speaking of Ricky Simone, how sick was it when he stopped the hype train in his last fight? Made dude move up to 45. That was crazy. I thought Simone was going to lose that one. It was an impressive performance. They should put Pedro versus Yadong. It will be fire. Dude, where's Pedro Munoz been since he got poked in the eye? When do you think the UFC will announce fights like John Jones next or Adesanya's next fight? I'll say they announced Jones' fight before the end of January, Adesanya before the end of February. Maybe on UFC 284 they announced Adesanya. Who do you got, Paulo Costa or Hamzat? I lean Paulo Costa. Did you see Silva versus GSP when it was ever? Did you think Silva versus GSP was ever going to happen? I was hopeful, but it didn't seem like it was ever going to happen. Who could you see the UFC matching Dominic Cruz next? Will they use him as a sacrificial lamb? I would like to see him versus TJ Dillashaw or Corey Sandhagen if he loses. Yeah, I would like to see either one of those matchups. I think Allen has more technical striking than Ilya, but it'd be more interesting. It'd be interesting. Man, stop playing. Wonderboy wrecks Chris Curtis, not even a question. Yeah, I'm sure you probably said Holland was going to wreck Wonderboy too, right? Everyone was writing Wonderboy off. Everyone was writing Wonderboy off in his last fight. I picked Wonderboy, okay? I picked Wonderboy versus Kevin Holland. I think Chris Curtis can bully him in the clinch and take him down. It would be a massive size advantage. Wonderboy isn't even a big welterweight. You don't think Curtis would go out there with a game plan to wrestle him when he knows that's Wonderboy's deficiencies? Sean Strickland was talking about me and Jared are going to stand and bang like men. The guy was running away the whole time. Okay. Thoughts on Jose Aldo's politics? I'm not sure what they are. Never really investigated it. What's next for Jillian Robertson? I don't know. Maybe she fights. Maybe she calls out Rose Namajunas in MMA. That's what I would do. I think it's sinful the UFC has Chito versus Sandhagen at the Apex. The fight can definitely sell it at a venue, and the atmosphere would be much better. I do agree. I do agree. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think Pedro is coming up on being washed soon. He's just getting older and having an injury in a young and fast division. I know what you mean. He's been out for a while too. He's been out 6 months now. I hope a sinkhole appears underneath the apex and it swallows it whole. Yeah, you can wish, but it's probably not going to happen. Wonderboy is surprisingly good. Yeah, I picked Wonderboy to beat Kevin Holland. So, I'm with you on that one. Wonderboy's always been an elite striker. How would Wonderboy do at 55? I said he was going to piece up Kevin Holland. How would Wonderboy do at 55 in his prime and now? I don't know how he would look. Would he train himself to get down to 155? I think he'd probably look pretty good, but I don't know if he would be drained. Oh, yeah, I heard Justin Gaethje Rafael Vazivas is in the works for March. Yeah, that's just rumors at this point, but I hope it does happen. I believe it will happen. Wonderboy's always been an elite striker, just never trained his grappling. Yeah, or maybe he has and just never has been able to, level it up. What is the UFC doing with the Apex? I heard stuff about them changing it, but what exactly? They are doing construction on it, I believe. I did an entire video on it, my Apex video on the channel, Jack. They are doing construction on it, which I believe will happen in February. And they're increasing the capacity so they can hold more fans. Unpopular opinion, I like the Apex fights because you can hear everything. I hate the fact that there's a small cage in there. Prime Cain Velasquez versus DC, who wins? Prime Cain Velasquez. Who would win in a fight, Chimaev or Dwayne Chimaev? UFC still keeping the Apex, but having more outside shows. The Apex is too profitable for them to abandon it. Yeah, I did a video about it recently, and I said I believe the UFC will never, ever go away from the Apex. Ever. So if you're interested in that video, it's on the channel. It's like, 5-6 videos ago, maybe? Yeah, so it's like the 10th video down. It's on the third row if you go to my channel. You go to my channel, it is the third row down. You interested in anything besides MMA? Of course, but MMA is like the main thing. I mean, it's hard to follow anything else when you're trying to follow MMA in the capacity that I'm trying to follow it. But of course I do other things, so, Apex is fine if they do better fights. I mean, there's multiple issues with the Apex. The main issue is they do shitty fight cards there because they don't have to worry about selling tickets. The other issue is the smaller cage. We should not have fighters, elite level fighters, fighting in the smaller cage. Thoughts on what happened to Victoria Lee? I mean, I'm not going to speculate on it. I think we can all take a good guess. When the cause of death is not announced, you can usually make an educated guess on what it probably is. It's like one or two options. I really hope the last Emperor ride off in the sunset with a KO over Darth Vader. We'll see, but I doubt it. Okay, what are you interested in besides MMA? Just going outdoors, taking my dog on hikes, stuff like that. Recently started playing disc golf, as French fries so says right there, which is a lot of fun. But stuff like that, outdoor stuff, fishing, bike riding, stuff like that. There you go. Boom. I would love to see fight nights in form again in Abu Dhabi. I like the vibes in there. I doubt that's going to happen. You think the UFC will ever reverse the Adidas sponsorship deal? I heard their Venom deal, you mean? So they're used to make 6 figures per fights for sponsorships. I think you mean Venom. And eventually it'll expire and they'll sign a new deal. Shogun and Fedor are done this year. Rip Pride, agreed. If they raise pay-per-view $15 next year, would you still buy them? Yeah, just because I would have to... No, I can't deal with reliability issues. But so yes, I probably would buy them. I don't mind the Apex. You don't have as many disrespectful fans booing fighters. Who cares if they're booing? What's next for the Korean Zombie? He's injured, so it's hard to say. Reebok or Venom? Venom all the way. Venom all the way. Is that even a question? Is that even a question? What would be the maximum amount of money you would personally be willing to pay for a UFC pay-per-view? My answer is 0. I use a VPN and an HDMI cord. When you say you use a VPN and HDMI, what do you use the VPN to go to? Is it free in a certain country? Is there a way to watch it reliable with a VPN? Because I have a VPN. But what would be the most I'd be willing to pay? I don't know. Probably at like 80. No, I mean, it's already 85. Probably at like 100. At $100, I'd start probably going somewhere and watching it. I don't know. I'd probably still order it, to be honest. So, when they go LeBron or MJ, Messi, Ronaldo, who are the 2 guys in MMA? Jones and Anderson and GSP. There's 3. What do you think would happen to Dana realistically for slapping his wife a month long? I just think he'll disappear from press conferences for a while, and that's it. You don't even need a VPN. I'm not watching some sketchy link with ads ever. Do you use UFC Arabia? There you go. At maximum, I pay $25. I wish they just lowered the cost. I think they would get a lot more sales and they would make more money with a lower cost. Is Giga the fighter with the worst luck right now? I don't know. Maybe. It's definitely not good luck because the Korean Zombie fight would have been good for him, I think. Hey, Joey, Dustin, Tough 20 alum, is now 5'6" predator catchers. He catches people trying to hurt kids. You should throw him a sub. Okay. I'll check it out. I'll check it out after the stream, which I'm about to get off right now. If you guys have any final questions, throw them in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. The real question is, have you guys watched my newest video, Top 3 Reasons I Love UFC 283? Have you watched it? I need to know. Have you watched it? But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, throw them in the chat. We'll go for like 2 more minutes. Here is the link to the video. I want you guys all to go watch it and like it. Boom, right there. It's on the channel. I just uploaded it earlier today. I also have Top 3 Reasons I Hate UFC 283. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys all went and checked it out. Yeah, and that's it. Jones or GSP then? I'll say GSP because he doesn't have the PEDs. Joey, before you get off stream, can we predict a matchup for the top 5? No. I've been watching it. I watched both likes and dislikes 283. They were hilarious. Thank you guys for watching it. If you have not watched them, go check them out. I'm wondering, hold on a second, guys. You know what I'll do? Give me 1 second. I'm going to stay on stream for a minute here. I am going to stay on stream, and I'm going to drop a video as we're on stream. It's only 11:30, so it's not particularly. I've dropped videos far later, but give me 1 second while I quickly make a thumbnail. So I have not made the thumbnail yet. I will make a thumbnail for this video real quick. I already have the image that I want to use. And then, boom, I will release it for you guys on stream. You guys will be the first to see it. I will post the link in the chat. I will post the link in the chat. I need more content. Yeah, should I drop it right now? So Umar Nurmagomedov versus Ronnie Barcelo's prediction. Should I drop it right now? Yes or no? That is the real question. I'm going to drop it for you guys if the chat says yes. So just let me know in the chat. But I'm going to make a thumbnail while I'm on stream right now anyway, because I'm going to do it after I get off. Okay, boom. Give me 1 second. Where is this at? Already have the image I'm making. I just got to type the names. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Odds are weak. This card, they're trying to scam the fans. Yeah, I don't know. I watch it. I'm excited for Moreno Figgy. I love Brandon Moreno. Fair enough. Fair enough. I would agree with you on that one. I'm super excited for that one, as you've seen on my video. Let me just real quick. I just got to make sure I got the spelling for this right. Okay. How is this name so damn long? Verse Bar. Let me see how to spell his last name. Make sure I spell it right. Okay. Shrink that down. You guys are going to be the first to see the video. I dropped 2 videos today. I recorded this literally right before I came on stream. So, you guys are literally the first to see it. I'm going to post a link in 1 second. I'm just finishing up this thumbnail. Boom, copy, paste, boom. Simple. Okay, I just got to adjust a couple things. Brightness, just, boom. Okay, there we go. I'm exporting my thumbnail now, and I'm going to send you guys the link in 1 second. So if you hung around for this, I appreciate you guys. You're going to be the first to see it. You're going to be the first to see it. Okay. Go to my channel content. Upload my thumbnail. Make sure I got my title all in there. Yep. Okay. Downloads. Boom. Save. Okay, guys. I am ready now. I am ready. I am ready. I'm copying the link as we speak. All right, guys. I am about to drop a link to a prediction video in the chat. Get ready to go check it out. You guys will be the first to see it. I'm just releasing it right this second. There you go. There's the link to the video. Go watch it, like it, and comment on it. Boost it in the algorithm immediately. And then after that, if you haven't watched my UFC 283 videos, go watch those as well. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the stream before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Go to the link in the chat. Watch the prediction video. I literally just recorded it right before I jumped on here. And you guys got a 2-hour stream tonight. So, but make sure you watch it all the way to the end. The video I just posted in the chat. Make sure you like it and comment on it, and I'll respond to all your guys' comments. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. And my Gastelum versus Imavov prediction will be out tomorrow. Good night. Goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your night.